When you see a man on a golden pulpit, you don't always know the dirt he stepped on to get there. Pastor Charles had a gift, yes, but he also had a secret that led him here, under a prison bulb, confessing to something darker than anyone imagined. This is his story. I didn't want this, but I was desperate. My church was dying, and I gave in. In the bustling heart of Delta, Pastor Charles held the mic every Sunday at Living Waters Revival Center. Once full of life, the church now echoed with empty seats, unpaid bills as members slip away to bigger churches. 7 adults, 2 children, pastor, the choir leader said in disbelief. Charles forced a smile, pockets jingling with only 850 naira as total offering money. God, how can your servant beg for bread? I give everything, yet this ministry is sinking. His wife, Grace, watched him slowly unravel. Their love was now peppered with arguments about money. My ulcer medications cost 15,000 naira this month. We've used credit everywhere. She said, Jehovah will provide. He replied, He also gave us wisdom. Maybe take a secular job. She added, a pastor moonlighting. Never, he said as he stormed out of the room. Things remained the way they were. Until one rainy evening, Charles was heading home through Johnson Street when a black Lexus splashes to a stop. Clement, his ex-schoolmate, steps out in Italian loafers. Charles the prayer warrior, hop in, the rain is wicked. Still surprised, Charles enters the car where they went to an expensive restaurant. Bro, my church is collapsing, Charles said to Clement. You serve a slow God, Charles, Clement said. Mine works in cash, not clouds. When Charles protested, Clement laughed and handed him a card. No address, just a coiled serpent around a golden coin. That night, Charles prayed the hardest he ever had. Not for blessings, not for healing, but for clarity. The silence that answered him was louder than thunder. He dreamt of a basket filled with coins. Every time he touched it, the coins turned to blood. Yet, when he turned away, the basket grew heavier. The next morning, he linked up with Clement and they drove to a hidden compound filled with red candles, masked men, a symbol of a coiled snake. The priest gave only one rule. You must sleep with one male member from your church every month. If you refuse, you die. Charles froze. He shouted and angrily left the compound with his friend running after him. That night, he couldn't sleep as different thoughts clouded his mind. The next day, the bank called. His wife cried. His phone beeped with unpaid bills. The church door stayed shut. He waited. He prayed, but nothing changed. On the 4th night, Charles picked up his phone. He called Clement. I'm ready, he said. That was the night Charles' light turned off. The first man was Felix, the church drummer. Young, quiet, loyal. Charles called it a special anointing night. Afterwards, Felix found 300,000 naira beside his shoe. He didn't ask questions. The next Sunday, more people filled the church. And so, each month, Charles picked a new man. They came. They were used. They were paid. The church grew. So did Charles's wealth. Grace noticed he stopped touching her. But she also noticed the church got bigger, as well as the finances. So, she didn't say anything. But someone else noticed too. His name was